I am a paper crafter. I make cards, tags, boxes, books, just anything related to paper. And sometimes I use ribbon in my projects. I have a lot of ribbon. This is just a sample for the purpose of this review. But it gets stored like this. I'm not one of those crafters that has all their ribbon neatly on rolls. I don't. It's in a drawer, and I just sort of shove them all down into these Ziploc bags. Recently, I decided that I'm going to start using some of my ribbon, and because of the way it's been stored, a lot of it comes out looking like this. And then some of these, I use them on a project. Then I decided I didn't like the project, and I destroyed the project, but I salvaged the ribbon. So when I decide I want to use it again, it needs to be pressed. I have a lot of silicone mats. These ironing pads, they are intended for people who do fuse beads. And that's one area I haven't ventured into. I might get into it later. But I thought, well, if it works for that, maybe it'll work for my ribbon. And when I am doing my greeting cards, or when I do tags, sometimes I will cut my paper, paint my tag with Mod Podge, put the paper down, and then use an iron, craft iron, to iron the paper down so that I get the decoupage look. So I thought this would come in handy. The mats come in 3 sizes. The smallest size is 3.9 on the short side and 5.9 on the long side. Then the next one up is 5.9 on the short side and 7.8 on the long side. And then the large mat is 7.9 on the long side and 11.8 on the long side. This is a 9-piece set. It's very versatile, and I'm not using it for bead fusing, but you can use this if you're working with charms. Whatever your project is, these 3 sizes will help you. This iron paper is heat resistant. It is thick. You can use it several times over. And I like this because sometimes I don't want to drag out my huge silicone mat if I'm not already working on it. If I just need to iron, say, just a short piece of ribbon, or if I'm just working on a small tag, it's more convenient for me to use this to press my ribbon. Or if I'm working on a tag, it's just very easy and very convenient. And I can use my heat press or my iron. This is just a wonderful tool to have. The other feature or thing I like about this is when I'm taking a class, or if I'm teaching a class, I don't have to travel with the huge silicone mat. I can simply drop it down into my travel case, and I'll be able to iron or work on heat-based projects away from my studio. So I'm very pleased with these. The performance, it's perfect. And I love the fact that this material that it's made from, it's so durable and it's so strong. I will get months and months and months of use out of one of these. And one may last me longer than months because I don't do heat-based projects that frequently. It's frequent enough that I need a nice quality ironing mat. And I really do like this much better than having to pull out my silicone mat to work with. So this is great. It doesn't fray because around the borders are finished. And so that's what this is. So that'll keep your mat from fraying over time. And so as long as you allow them to cool between projects, anything, even when you're using a silicone, you don't want to be on there too long. So if you allow this to cool down between projects, you are going to get a lot of life out of it. Your heat distribution will be even. It'll be consistent. So I'm glad I found this. I was actually just cruising through Vine to see what was available in the craft supply section and came across these, and I'm glad I was able to hop on it and get these. And I'm thinking of, in terms of gifts for my crafty buddies, I think these would be a great gift. So it's 5 stars for me. It's a nice product. It does what it is advertised to do. The heat resistance is great. I had my craft iron on various settings while I was ironing, and the last setting I had it on was the very highest setting. And so the heat resistance for this mat is excellent.